Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Premier Madden Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Finn, and joining me today is fucking nobody. It's just me today. This is very interesting. The only person I've ever seen do a podcast alone is Joe Rogan in like his early days of the MMA podcast, whenever he split his podcast from like normal podcasts into doing like stuff with some of his guests and then a stuff with like all of his MMA fighter guests so that all the listeners can know, because he's got a lot of fans that are, why the fuck am I talking about Joe Rogan? Anyways, it's kind of weird doing a podcast on your own. I did it for a while when I was doing sports podcasting before Anthony showed up, and then Anthony subsequently started bailing on me for Red Dead Redemption 2. So now I'm back to doing podcasts alone. It's actually supposed to be scheduled with Rob, but he's late. So it's just me today. Anyways, so what are we talking about? Let's talk about week 2. First of all, let me turn my PlayStation on because that shit's off. I just got done playing the trial game with my man Quentin. Went well. We kind of were chatting it up, so I don't think we were like too hardcore about like some of the play calling and stuff like that. What I mean by that is he threw a lot of picks, and I'm trying to give him an excuse, a little bailout from the amount of picks that he threw. I want to make sure I'm not in a party with him right now because I was in a party earlier. So, I see. So, anyways, loading it up here, seeing where we're at in the league. We'll go over some of the week 1 matchups, some of the big games, some things going on for week 2 here to look forward to. And then just kind of sit back and have some fun until my wife calls me and lets me know that I need to pick her up from work. So, my first game, let's talk a little bit about my first game in the league after some preseason matchups. I got to play against the Raiders. Didn't go too well for him. Okay, threw a handful of picks. Kareem Hunt, he went off for his first 2 touches, went for touchdowns over 30 yards. So that was big, but then he got hurt. So I guess I have a little bit of time before I have to make a decision. If you know what I'm talking about, in real life, Kareem Hunt assaulted a person, a female, a woman. And I guess the Chiefs knew about it. This happened in February, and I guess he spoke with them about it. They were going to let the NFL investigate, handle it, and I guess because now the videos come out, the Chiefs realized that he lied about the circumstances regarding the event, and they decided to straight up cut him. So now I'm sitting here going, well, should I cut him too? And then where does that line stop? Right now, the game might just take Kareem Hunt out of the game, and I might just have to deal with it. SOL. Do I keep Kareem Hunt like a good Christian would, and forgive him, and give the man a second chance because that's what the Lord would do, bless his soul? Or maybe I keep him, but I change his name so he's no longer Kareem Hunt. He's just running back number, the old NCAA guys, or I just, maybe we give him a name. Maybe like Mike, like Mike Hunt. I'm so fucking stupid. Anyways, I can't really cut him, actually. He's out with a shoulder tear for 2 weeks, so we get to find out if Madden's going to delete him. Or do I cut him? But then again, I have Tyreek Hill on the team. When Tyreek Hill was 19, I guess he assaulted his pregnant girlfriend, and he was given a second chance. He's in the NFL, and I'm more than happy to use him to this point. So I guess really the big thing is just continuing to use him for Madden purposes. Does that indicate any kind of support for what he did? Because I don't support what he did. Who knows? I'll listen and see. I kind of like the changing the name kind of deal. I wouldn't mind maybe, by cutting and, maybe cutting him. I can't even speak here. Maybe cutting him. Maybe the league does me a solid, right? Maybe I get to take like a free agent rookie and kind of get him some stats. Maybe get him like to in 82 and maybe like quick dev. That way, I'm trading away, or I'm gonna get rid of a 90 overall star running back, 24 years old. So, like, I get it. I don't have to give him up. At the same time, if they do me a solid by either changing his name or maybe give me a rookie player with decent stats at running back, then I'll do it. I'll take a downgrade at running back. If it means not having to not input, but then again, by design at that point, do we consider supporting Tyreek Hill? Is it even that serious at all? Who knows? So I don't know how I feel about it. I definitely don't support Kareem Hunt in real life. I feel like, regardless of how you feel about whether how he hit a woman or how he hit a person or the circumstances surrounding it, or whatever the case may be, it looked avoidable. That's how I feel about it on the video. I feel like it looked avoidable. It looked like in the moment he had to make a decision. Do I want to let this go, sticks and stones, or do I want to attack this person? Because I feel like regardless of what led up to that event, regardless of who that person is, there wasn't an immediate threat to Kareem Hunt's life. There wasn't an immediate threat to the people around Kareem Hunt. So I felt like the violence was unnecessary. Man, woman, child, whatever. The violence was unnecessary. I felt like it was overboard. And then lying to once again, I don't feel any type of way about him lying to them because it's lying. I don't have a trust bond relationship with Kareem Hunt, so he doesn't owe me an explanation for that. I just don't approve of the actions. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to talking about the league. Let's go to some of these week 1 matches. There's some good ones, man. Bills Browns came down to the wire and ended up being 20 to 19 because of a missed field goal earlier in the game for the Browns. So that one's crazy. Let's look a little bit live. Look at how Deebo Samuel did. That's kind of the big guy that everybody's talking about. Looks like Josh Allen didn't throw a touchdown, so we know Deebo didn't get one. Let's see. 3 catches, 18 yards. Interesting. Now, granted, the Browns do have Denzel Ward, and that's probably one of the better corners in the game after a season into a dev. Rob Gronkowski, the new Buffalo Bill, who was traded over from New England, he goes 3 catches for 27 yards. Interesting, pretty lackluster performance. And Josh Allen led the team in rushing yards with 59 and a touchdown. Damian Harris, the Alabama running back, 33 yards. So, I'd have to go back and watch. Right, the turnovers definitely, were there. There was 4 turnovers between the two teams. Baker threw 3 picks. Josh Allen threw 1. David Sills, 6 overall pick. He goes 4 receptions for 57 yards. So that's a good game. Very interesting. The Browns. I don't know if the Browns made the Super Bowl last year. I have to go back and see, but the Bills were. So that's a pretty good match of some 2 high-level teams. So my self-proclaimed not self-proclaimed, but my prediction as a dark horse NFC candidate, he ends up beating Tampa Bay. So that's the Niners. He beats Tampa Bay 31-24. Now, he was up big at halftime. It was actually 31-10. And I feel like he just, up 21 points at halftime. I feel like he took his foot off the brake or foot off the gas, hovered over the brake, and he let Tampa Bay get back into it. And Tampa Bay's the kind of team that can get back in the games. There's Rojo, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Like, those are players that can easily get back in the game. And that looks like it, seemed to be the case as Jameis goes 3 touchdowns in the game. Mike Evans went off for 5 receptions, 126 yards. So, and then not to mention OJ Howard, right? So, my guy P-Town. Let's talk a little bit about P-Town real quick and why. So, P-Town is one of the better user linebackers I've seen. But here's the thing. I wouldn't even say user linebacker. He kind of switched this Madden to using safeties, like mid-cover 3 safeties. And that's normally kind of recipe for disaster for some guys. But, that's not something. Damn, I got to text this dude back really quick and let him know that I can't play yet. I got to go pick up my wife. My wife soon. Sorry, guys. I'm over here. Sweet. Props to Troy. He's the truth. Anyway, sorry about that. So P-Town is a guy, like I said, he uses the safety, and he's so smart with it. He's not a dumb user. He's not running a guy out of position. He is baiting the shit out of you, and it really throws people off because normally you're being baited by a linebacker. Now you just have linebackers underneath grabbing stuff. Also, he's got Reuben Foster on his team, so if I have to release Kareem Hunt, I think it would be in his best interest to release Reuben Foster. No. But P-Town, offensively, he loves to run the football. He's pretty notorious for going and getting like this elite group of running backs. I think in our Xbox League, he had Derrick Henry, Melvin Gordon, Tariq Cohen. He just fucking shit on people. Like it was brutal. So I think, let's see how he ran the ball. I think it's going to be an adjustment. 1, to the PlayStation controller. 2, to the way that the PlayStation gets played. He had a 77-yard rush with Marquise Goodwin, and then didn't really dominate on the ground. So learning how to get that team to work with Jimmy G is going to be huge for him. But I think he can do it, and I think he's going to throw a lot of users off, especially guys that feel like they're comfortable throwing the football against the user linebackers, because now it's just a whole new meta, and it's hard to get one game. So Seattle may adjust because he has to play him twice, right? And then obviously come playoffs, now it's a different thing. But guys like the Packers and other guys that he may meet in the playoffs, I feel like if you don't play him once, it's going to throw you off, and it's going to be really hard to adjust. And he's not going to take his foot off the brake or off the gas. Second time I said that. It's not going to take his foot off the gas if it's a serious game, or if it's a close game, or if it's a good opponent. No offense to Bucks, but when you go up 31-10, you're probably feeling a type of way about the game. Going in halftime, you might be just kind of relaxing a little bit, trying different things out. Or maybe he was trying, and maybe Bucks figured it out and figured him out. So that's another key, right? Is he got figured out in a half and almost gave up a comeback. So he's maybe P-Town needs to take it a little bit more serious. The Texans-Titans was an AFC South matchup I was excited for because the quarterbacks were really efficient. So I want to check and see. And they were just as efficient. No interceptions between the two of them. Watson goes 2 touchdowns. Mariota goes 1. Derrick Henry went off. Looks like 3 touchdowns, 136 yards. And then on the other side, seems like the Houston receivers went off with 100 yards plus for Will Fuller, DeAndre Hopkins. So that was a good matchup. Houston won 38-36. Looks like Tennessee had 15 points in the fourth quarter, but couldn't really seal the deal. So that's a close one. I mean, it came down to 2 points, so that's going to be interesting. The Colts are no longer really a threat in that division. I don't know about the status of the Jags, so I don't know where they're at in terms of ability. It looks like they got the force one against the Colts, so there's that. So we'll see. And then let's check in on good old Natural. He went off 37-12 against the Bengals. The Bengals, a team that's missing John Ross. But Lamar, in his kind of first full start for the season, he goes 2 touchdowns. Not only that, he's sporting the league's best passer rating at 137. Right behind him is Patrick Mahomes, but Lamar Jackson looking good out the gate. Let's look at the rushing yard side. Alex Collins with 88. I wonder, it looked like last year he kind of went more by committee. He went, he's got Ty Montgomery now. So interested to see if he sticks with Collins and Lamar, or if he's going to go by committee. But the two of them both scored a touchdown on the game. Looks like Ty did get phased in as he led the team in receptions with 4, along with Hayden Hurst. So it looks like patient football, with Hurst and Montgomery. It looks like he understands that there's limitations to having Lamar Jackson. Didn't want to come out, throw a bunch of picks, and throw the game away. Got his deep ball to John Brown for 58 yards. So at least I would assume it's a deep ball. Yards after catch, 36. So I guess it's a 22-yard throw. Is that how the math works? So, yeah, decent deep ball to John Brown. So picking and choosing, running, making you come up. So keep that in mind when you're playing the Natural. He's going to try and pick you apart. He's not going to try and come out and just wail away until the turnovers come. He's playing the efficient game here. So that's exciting. Let's move on to week 2. So we already have a couple games got played. The Niners improved 2-0. He's 31. and 17 over the Falcons. I played Falcons in the preseason. What I walked away from was he's good, but he throws a lot of picks. And he only threw 2 this game, but looked like he struggled to throw the ball in general. He went 12 for 19 for 124 yards, so not a lot of yards there. Jimmy G got 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And it looks like this was the first big game for Bo Scarborough, who he picked up off of I think it was the Packers practice squad, but it was Anthony that cut him. So 112 yards and 2 touchdowns for Bo Scarborough. So when I said he can run the football, this is probably the guy to watch out for. So that's moving forward. That's what you need to look out for is can he get Bo Scarborough going against some of the better run defenses in the league. So Anthony's going to play the CPU again. A lot of CPU teams trying to fill these things up, man. So I got a CPU team in the Colts. Let's see here. If there's any other big matchups. Looks like we may have a Broncos user coming in to play the natural. Might have to have a guy play as a sub user for him. So it's already existing in the league, so that should be interesting. So not too many big matchups. So in week 2, a little cool down. I think really it's just the displacement of the CPU game. So should be good fun. Excited to have Quentin come into the league. He's a fun guy. Maybe influence during our game that could explain why the score was what it was, but really excited to have him in the league. So welcome. Hope you get the Rams. I don't know what team you're getting up with, but Rams are easily the best roster available. If you're listening to this and you're not in the league, but you play on the PlayStation, you want to get into a league, there's a lot of content, there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of effort, a lot of trash talk, but it's a lot of fun. Go to join.premiermadden.com. Fill out an application. We'll get you a waitlist game. It shouldn't take long. We'll get you a quick game just to make sure you understand the rules, and we'll talk a little bit, play some Madden. And at the end, we'll get you team selected and get you going into the league. So should be a fun time. Next week, I got the Texans. I got to deal with these efficient quarterback play and 2 very good receivers. So, and this is the teams that explain why I went and grabbed Greedy Williams, the 6'3" LSU corner. It's because you got to deal with Will Fuller's speed. He's 95, 96 speed. So I got Greedy there, and I got Kyle Fuller to deal with Hopkins. And I still have my hands full because both of them are still probably winning their matchup. So, can I get the pass rush going with Justin Houston? Can I match? Can I match on offense? If we're gonna get into a shootout, I have the offense to do it, right? But I think the biggest key against Houston is going to be, can I run the ball without Kareem Hunt against a team that's got J.J. Watt and Bernard McKinney and Whitney Merciless and Jadeveon Clowney and Dylan Cole. Very talented front 7 group. So if I can't find a way to run the football and I get reserved to throw it, that might put me in some very bad situations down the stretch in the long games where, you can't build a lead and hold a lead if you can't run the football. That's just football 101, right? Especially with how long these games are. So nature of the beast, but I'm super excited. So I'll be going into that game 2-0. I don't know who Houston's playing this week, but maybe he'll be 2-0. That'll be a big week 3 matchup. That'll be it. This is a real quick episode, just by myself, just playing with myself here, talking a little bit of Madden. I was going to get into some strategy talk, but I decided against it because I got to go pick my wife up from work. So she works at Olive Garden. So that 30% discount is clutch as fuck. So, all right, guys, that'll do it. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Join.premiermaddenleague.com, daddyleagues.com/premier if you want to look at the stats, big matchups, big games, reviews, blogs for the league. Pop up over there and see. And as always, actually, I don't know why I say as always. I got like I have some outro to say. So as always, fuck Rob.